morning, Facebook. It's me, Gary, and that's D-Rock. We're filming DailyVee 32, 31? 31. What, number 31? Big Dave Winfield, when I was a kid as a Yankee. Typical day in the casino, conference room in Connecticut. You know, just doing my thing. What I think is most interesting is the following, which is what I've spent my career on. Sometimes I've done it well, now I'm really doing it. One-on-one CRM. What I mean by that is, in the same way you think of customers and knowing everything, let's use Rick in a positive way. So I gotta make it up for you, Rick. If Rick is doing great, Rick may not be motivated by another $8,000 or 4%. He just might not, right? He may be motivated by an extra couple of weeks. So I'll give you an interesting, we have unlimited vacation policy. Let me explain. Did that for the first 2 years. Then I created a mandatory 3 weeks because a lot of kids, especially youngsters, they didn't know how to handle it. So some of them didn't use it at all. And then you had some that used it a lot. But here's what's funny. We still have it unlimited. I'm thrilled to fire you for your vacation actions, even though we have an unlimited, yes, we have an unlimited policy. That doesn't mean you should be on vacation 94 days a year. Got it? Obviously I do those 5-10 minute meetings with people when they first start. You've seen that on DailyVee countlessly. But these, hour breakfasts with 6 different people, just shooting the shit, always trying to move the needle in making me more accessible and human and real to even my own employees, as much as I stand and spew it on this show. Genuinely wanting a relationship with them is the actual answer to this question. As much as I stand in front of them in all hands-on meetings or send emails, it's still tough to make somebody feel comfortable, even if they've been with me for 2-3 years in the company, to just reach out and say hey and talk about their wants, dreams, and needs. And so continuously trying to hack at creating scenarios. A breakfast like this allows something to come up about a favorite TV show that I then can mention in the elevator, that then leads to 6 months from now, that person, when they're struggling because one other person's making their life miserable, for them to actually come and speak to me about it versus finding another job. I'm the least fucking confused person you will ever meet. And I need you to understand that. And the way I solve for that is to stand in front of you at scale and say, I am here to have any conversation you need at any time. I call it the Rickey Henderson rule. Rickey Henderson's a baseball player in 1984 that winked at me as he was going into the dugout, and he became my favorite baseball player, and I supported him and bought his stuff and bought his baseball cards. It's very hard. I have 600 and change employees right now. Finding time for everybody is very, very difficult, but even the 5-minute meetings, though, are so short, they create context. It's amazing. I've been sitting with a lot lately, and as I'm catching up, and whether I know the town they grew up in or their favorite sports team or what their ambition is, that context becomes meaningful. And it's important, and I think it has a huge impact on culture. When you go away, when you don't become a faceless CEO or head of this or head of that, and you become Gary or Emily or Ricky, it becomes totally different. And And by saying hello for 5 minutes in a meeting, it leads to them saying hello to you in the elevator, which leads to them saying hello at the holiday party, which leads to them coming to you actually on an issue. It's building an actual relationship. What matters the most, in my opinion, and what I think is absolutely the future of HR, is the one-on-one nature of it. Some people want work-life balance, some want more money, some want more challenges. We put everybody, this is school. And school doesn't work. You can't put everybody in the same box. They're driven by different things, and more importantly, and you know this, and all of you know this, you're driven by different things at different points in your life. When you're 22, and you didn't grow up in anything, you want money. When you crushed it, and you're 32, and you found the man of your dreams, and you want to start a family, you're not sure, you want to be a working dad, maybe a like there's just a million. By the way, I tell my employees, I take it very rogue. I tell my employees, I'm like, I'm ready for tragedy. Like we've had 3 situations right now where people are dealing with tragedy, deaths, mental illness, and like I'm mentally and my company's prepared for that. You need a 4-month sabbatical? Fine, like real stuff. And you know, like just real stuff. I love my non-billable overhead. It's why we're the fastest growing agency ever. Because we actually have continuity. Because we actually have a team. Because we actually have longevity. And so, you could try, I think this is entrepreneurial enough from what I can sense, and I don't know, and like you have different things, it's a big company, but I think you should challenge yourself to come up with 1 or 2 unique HR driven things every year, things that you haven't done in the past, but more than anything, it doesn't matter what tactic, it's not tactics, it's religion. If you actually give a crap about every person here one by one, you will win. You got it. What's up, Snapchat? Sorry I've been MIA. Just running a fucking business. Headed back to O'Hare now. Kind of an intense day. 3 flights. D-Rock, not a bad day. Love when the hustle comes through. That was a lot of fun. Speaking of leaving something in car, literally, the only time I had to take both my kids to school on the same day.
You didn't leave one of the kids in the car.
No. No, that would have been amazing. No, but the only time, the singular, I've taken a lot of them individually by themselves, but that I had to take 2. My wife had to have a quick procedure and we're in between nannies, right?
That's always fun.
So I went and did that, and my little guy is like 30 minutes after my daughter, and I get out of the cab to take him to the coffee shop that he likes to like hang out in 30 minutes before school, and left his book bag in the taxi, gone forever.
Bad dad, that's a bad dad.
I know, I texted my wife, I'm like, this is such good material. I'm like, so good. Oh, by the way, I do a daily vlog. That's what D-Rock is doing, if you were curious.
Yes, I have.
Got
I'm
it.
aware.
Okay, good. Oh, you know what? You know what's good, D-Rock? That's the first time I just realized. Eventually, enough people know about it that I don't have to say it every time. Yeah. Cartier, an iconic brand, always flattered when big brands of non-clients are asking me to come in and bring value and so that's what I do for a living, because really I'm a salesman. When I go and talk to all these brands that love to make commercials and catalogs, I don't care about awards. I don't give a crap about the south of France and winning an award. I care about selling crap, right? And this sells crap. That went extremely well. I really enjoyed that. Great crew. I'm a retailer and salesman at heart, so those are always extra special for me. And Sal, it's Gary V. You gotta hit me up. When are we hanging out, my man?
Hi. That's awesome. Oh my God, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And now grinding back. luckily D-Rock wasn't sitting with me in the flight between New York and Chicago, because I actually slept, which is a rarity, but I've really been on 4 and 5 hours sleep. The last 2 weekends I haven't been able to catch up on sleep or rest, so feeling run down for me, which is a rarity. I guess we're 31 episodes in and everybody just said, what? Truth is, by even saying it, I got competitive, plus I got rest there, and plus I got energized there, so I'm about to crush this flight from Chicago to Dallas. But, you know, just grinding, right? Like, just, you know, listen, I have no problem with anybody jumping off this series, because I promise you, if you're smart, you're gonna find the layers and things underneath. But like, if you're only one chess move, this is gonna be quite basic. Working hard, grinding, making stuff happen. So that's what it is. I mean, it's crazy. You think you might be getting exhausted of. Oh, sorry, I got right on the sound there. Do you feel that? You didn't hear it? Nice. Oh, did I take their mic?
No, you held it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like how some people are like, Gary Vee, like, man, this is like intense, like 30 episodes, like, you know, like, even like people actually coming at it as a zing, like, hey, show some other stuff or this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, 30 episodes, man. This has been 30 years. I wish DailyVee started in May of 1998. There'd be a library of complete and utter exhaustion.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, like, 30 months, like 30 episodes, like 3 months, like, this is forever. This has been forever. Like, this is what so many successful people's career look like, not just mine. Like, and even successful parents, successful, like, everything. Like, it, you know, anything special takes a combination of talent and work ethic and all these things. And so, like, look, you know, I have the audacity to dream big things, and they come at the expense of taking a helicopter to Connecticut and back, and they come at the expense of, you know, flying to Chicago for an hour and then leaving. They come at the expense of landing at 1:30 tonight and then having a 5:40 a.m. wake-up call. Like, everything has a cost. You just have to make sure that the price you're paying is what you want in return. You ready, D-Rock? Matt McLeod, who's a great dude, just left a comment, said, also, lighten up on D-Rock. You've been singing him a lot, so D-Rock, I just want to set the record straight here. I'm sorry, I love you so much. And I sing the ones I love the most. Right? Mom, Dad, AJ. So, it's funny, when I read that, I'm like, oh man, I must really starting to love D-Rock. I want to have that care and level of relationship with those individuals. And that's what I always hope, and unfortunately they don't always go that way. But that is my aspiration. Okay. Thank you. D-Rock, this is how I like the airports. Real fucking quiet. Real quiet. For the hustlers. You run a company of this size, what happens is you can't get to everything on that day. There are things that I know that are broken today that I'm doing things to fix, but you won't feel it for 3 or 4 months because that's just the way it is, right? That's just the game. And so I've been thinking about, what do I say up here that for the 300, 400 of you that I don't know well enough that you hear and you don't believe? This is what I think about every day. That's what, by the way, that's 100% what I'm gonna do after this talk. What was said today, and how many people didn't believe it, and how do I make sure they do eventually, right? That's what I do for a living. So there's been things that have happened in the last 18, 24 months around a lot of different categories that made me feel that way. I would argue that this is maybe now, as of this announcement, the next most important role in this company underneath me. And so it's a big one. So as of today, starting on Monday, we now have a Chief Heart Officer. And that Chief Heart Officer is actually here. So I think we should grab our Chief Heart Officer. to create a position that really is me, right? Like the scalable version of what I do with you guys one-on-one in those meetings, and to have the autonomy to make decisions that make no sense on paper, but make a whole lot of sense on heart. We want to build the single greatest human organization in the history of time.